Hello everyone, good morning. Today is Saturday and we are going on a bike ride early morning. The day looks good and the sun is beautiful, but it's raining and we have been waiting for almost 30 minutes and still not able to go out. Even if the sun has come out, we still see drizzle. So even if we got ready around 6, we started only around 7 because that's when the rain stopped. When you cold start the engine, it revs around 2000 to 2500 rpm and gradually settles down around 1200 or 1300 rpm. So that's the reason you heard it little loud when I started it, but not that loud enough compared to my Daytona, because even with the stock exhaust, the Daytona just sounded too sweet and loud. Even if it is at 2000 rpm, it sounded loud, but nevertheless this one is smooth. We will soon change the exhaust and I'm going to show you the video in the upcoming few days, so let's wait for it. Yesterday whole night it had rained and I was a little worried whether there will be water on the roads. Maybe some of the parts would be filled with water, so let's see. So here I am exiting my apartment and early morning it does look good. In fact, it's good to start early in Bangalore for bike rides because the day starts getting crowded if it's beyond 7:15 or 7:30. So at least while starting we can go faster to the location, but while returning there is no choice. You have to hit the traffic and it slows down a lot, so it does take time to return back home. In my last video I was talking about the DJI Pocket 3 and I was hellbent to use it as an action cam, even if it is called as a vlogging cam, but I really love the 1-inch sensor that it has. Now here I have mounted it on my chest and today we will see how it goes, whether it is able to do justice to the action cam domain or not, right? So the Pocket 3 is at 20 mm focal length and the action cams usually are around 11 mm or 14 mm. That's pretty wide field of view, and that's the reason here the field of view looks to be a little narrower, but it does give a little cinematic effect. I don't have the wide angle filter for it, and once I get it, if I use the wide angle filter, it should increase the field of view a bit more and might start looking better. But let's try out how it looks, and if I kind of succeed, then maybe I will use it for action cam also instead of spending on another action cam. I wanted to use DSLR instead. Very ambitious thought, I know, but it is not possible to do it with a DSLR because you need really good mounts on the bike. I think that's the reason all the DSLR shots looks absolutely stunning when you see those cinematic ones, but they are usually shot by another car which is actually following your bike, and somebody has to sit behind in the car to shoot with the DSLR along with a proper gimbal, maybe a Ronin, right, a DJI Ronin. I do have all of these, but if you are alone you cannot use a DSLR. I am really fond of the DSLR quality and not so keen on action cam's quality because the processor is small and usually you don't get the right kind of output that I intend to get. So out of all the action cams, I think the DJI Osmo 360 has the 1-inch sensor, but I don't like editing again a 360 footage to get the footage that I really want, but you have to spend a lot of more time to get the clip. So I decided not to go for a 360 instead. In fact, I had a Insta360 X3 and I sold it within a month or so because it was just taking too much of time to edit and then export the videos. So the option that I chose was more towards quality, so I wanted a 1-inch sensor, so I used the Pocket 3 and I decided to try it as an action cam on bike. So hope it works, but we will find out. So today we are on the Dubaspet highway, and here I stopped a bit to shoot a bit and enjoy the cold mornings. The winters are starting in Bangalore, but there is still some rain here and there. I think in next few weeks the rain should subside and we should see more of foggy winter mornings. So here we stopped a bit and then we started again. Today we are going towards Silver Oaks Café, that is just a little before Nandi Hills, and we want to sit there a bit. This is our first long, I would say a little long ride versus the short ride that I did for 2-3 kilometers. So I've just done around 180 kilometers in my bike, and 20th I'm planning to give it for first service, but then again I don't think so I'll be able to hit 1000 kilometers by then. So I've been trying to do as much as possible because I don't ride over the weekdays, it's only on the weekends. So let's see how much I can reach. I'm aiming to reach at least around 700-800 ish before I can give for service, and that's when I plan to change the exhaust as well, because it is very silent. Specifically if you're coming from a bike like Daytona, you feel it is silent, but that could also be because I am below 4000 rpm. So if you notice, I have not been crossing 65 or 70. I noticed that when it is at 65 kilometers per hour and the RPM meter at 6th gear is already at 4000. So that means I have to stop at 65. It's a break-in period, so yeah, even if you feel like revving it hard, but I think you should stop and let it settle down. The engine takes some time to settle down, and I think after 1000 you can start pushing hard, so we'll have to keep patience around that. A lot of talking, so now let's see how the bike sounds, right? I know I did not hit 100, 200, but 65 speed, let's see how it sounds. So enjoy the views. So we are almost completing the highways. These are beautiful highways and the bike just glides in these roads. We are about to enter the Nandi Hill junction, so we will see some better scenery versus highways. So let's see. Oops, Mr. Doggish is everywhere. Narrow escape there. I was riding slow, good enough. Here the angle got messed up a bit. I know you're seeing more of the handle and the bike than the road, but kind of looks cinematic to me. But yeah, you can't see what's ahead more. So yes, a glitch we will fix. So after a slow ride, we have reached Silver Oaks Cafe. I really love this cafe, and early morning you get good food, good tea. So we are going to halt here for a bit, have some snacks, and then go towards Nandi Hills because I want to get the views early morning. We'll just take a quick ride to Nandi Hills and just come back. Now, the moment you find a big mirror, एक बार तो देखना बनता ही है. So yes. Now, how do you fix your hair after wearing helmet? That has always been a problem, which I don't think I can solve ever. अब लोकेशन पे आते ही मोबाइल चालू, while I enjoy my tea because after a long ride you need good tea in the morning. So 30 minutes हम लोग ने वहाँ spend किया, and now we are just going to take a ride to the Nandi Hills foothills and climb up and see how it looks because it is pretty cloudy and gloomy, so I'm expecting it will look good. अब यहाँ पे हुआ another glitch. Struggling with the Pocket 3 because it was hitting my jacket. The gimbal had turned to one direction. I did not notice it because I was obviously wearing the helmet, so I can't see it what is happening there, but I keep scanning whether it is actually pointing forward or left or right, and I noticed the issue. Luckily enough, I fixed it on time, so I have the footage, but it did glitch afterwards again, so some of the clips are kind of gone, but while coming back I did capture whatever I could and it looks good to me. What do you say? It looked a whole lot greener today. Maybe because of the rain, it was all fresh and blooming. So यहाँ पे पहुँच गए हम टॉप पे. So I'm not going to stay here long. I will just take a U-turn and then go immediately to the hotel because I have to return back, and today is Saturday, the traffic is just going to be crazy. So yeah, we did not stay here long. We made a move and we rocketed towards home at 65 kilometers per hour. Yeah, that's the maximum I can do. I do hear some strange noise coming from the chain, I suppose, because after I received the bike I have never lubricated it, so I kind of hear the chain sound, I feel, so I need to check that. And because I was not able to cross beyond 4000 rpm, I was struggling with the gear ratios, and it's a new bike, so I was tuned with the Daytona, but yeah, it'll take some time for me to tune or get adjusted to the gear system. But overall the bike feels a lot stable and planted, very, I would say the chassis is really balanced, and even if it is slightly heavier than the Daytona, it does feel light in the traffic. And also the foot pegs are a little lower, which means you are sitting a lot more relaxed, and it's comfortable. Good bike, I would say. It's track focused, but yeah, if you have been riding super sports, so you can still, I feel, ride it in streets also. But yeah, while going or going down the foothill, the pressure is on your wrist, so you do feel pain. And specifically in city, where I'm using the clutch a lot, I use only 2 fingers for my clutch, and I did start feeling exhausted and strain on my wrist, because in back-to-back bumper to bumper traffic, you do feel a strain on your wrist. So I will see if that clutch can be made a little more softer. Nothing wrong with the bike, but mostly to do with city rides if it is bumper to bumper traffic. Now here I wanted to get down, reach the foothill. I just wanted to get down and relax my wrist a bit while my wife went to have coconut. And there was a old auntie here. She was asking for money, so instead I told, you better have a coconut instead of money. And by seeing the bike, it kind of seems once she drank the coconut, the lady giving the coconut charged us 80 rupees for one coconut. And I think that's the highest I've paid for one coconut. Usually it is around 50, but yeah, she did charge us 80. So yeah, nevertheless, good enough. So guys, that's all for today. I hope you liked the blog, and I did use the Pocket 3. Tell me whether it looked good, bad, ugly, and I'll also try out the wide angle lens once I get it. But for me it kind of is there, almost 80% there. I think that 20% glitch I will fix somehow and make it work. If not, we go for an action cam, but I probably would be interested in the Osmo Nano, because it is really tiny and you can just mount it anywhere, and you have a screen which is separated, so while it is mounted on your helmet or in a location where you can't see it, you can always see the screen separately and see how the footage is. So that should help. And there were some heating issues there with that is with the Osmo Nano, but I think with the new firmware it is kind of getting fixed. We are getting more than an hour recording, so we'll have to wait a bit and watch. And also there is DJI Action 6, which is supposed to be launched in October, but we never know, it might have that 1-inch sensor that I've been waiting for. So we will see what comes and accordingly take a decision, but for now the Pocket 3 it is. That's all for today guys. Thank you and have a good rest of the day. Bye bye.